Rita, that is very sobering. I know it's a grab, it's long, but I wanted to show people tonight this idea that it's just an older person's disease and young people like on Bondi Beach can be flippant is very, very wrong.
That's true, and not only can it impact young people seriously, but as we know, young people can spread the disease, and if they're in contact with someone who does have a compromised immune system or is older, then it can have a tragic consequence. So the Chief Health Officer, the Prime Minister, everyone's been hammering that message home that no matter how young, fit and healthy you are, do your role, know what you have to do to keep us all safe, and so we can get through this crisis as unscathed and as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and the issue too, Rita, you know, there was a grab today, I'll play it for people, from the Premier Daniel Andrews, that the messages just don't seem to be getting through. Listen to this.
You won't be able to go to the pub because the pub is shut. That doesn't mean you can have all your mates round to home and get on the beers. That's not appropriate. We had a case last week where a group of people, a dozen or so, went to a dinner party. As best we can tell, the dinner party started with one person who had the coronavirus. By the end of the dinner party, almost everybody at the dinner party had the coronavirus. This spreads rapidly.
I think I have to go back to Rita because there's a problem with Nick's Skype. Rita, this just highlights a problem. I think, you know, hopefully after everything's shut down, we'll have some real change in behaviour.
Yeah, I don't want to condemn people because I think that people are generally doing the right thing, but there are those who are not heeding the message, and I've been seeing posts all over social media of people having dinner parties and saying, well, we can't go out to restaurants, but that's not going to stop us from enjoying life, and almost trying to paint this as you know, the human condition can overcome anything, but exposing those closest to you to risk. And as difficult as it is for some people to accept, for the foreseeable future, for next 3 months, 4 months, however long it lasts, your life is going to be markedly different, and that does mean you're not going to be able to have your dinner parties and mix with family and friends the way you used to. Of course, we know all the impact it has on the workforce and the economy and people's livelihoods being absolutely shattered at the moment, but it's those social interactions that seem to be really stopping people doing the right thing. They just can't get it. They can't digest the information that this does mean that, yes, you can't have coffee with your mum every Monday morning like you used to, because you pose a risk to her well-being. It's a very difficult message to absorb. I can understand why people are struggling with it. We've never faced anything like this in our lives. It's uncharted waters.
We're in the media, and people who watch Sky News at home, we've been talking about this for a number of months, and you know, you're more of an informed audience, I think, if you're watching Sky News and you're engaged in politics. I think for a lot of young people, they've woken up today and it's all sort of hit them, and they haven't been able to go through all the staged processes. Nick, I will see if we've got you now, but this is the real challenge, and not just that it's only for a couple of weeks, Australia. This could be for 6+ months, as the PM keeps saying.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right, Peter. I mean, I saw those scenes at Bondi Beach last weekend with 20,000 odd people out gallivanting there, and it was like the last days of Rome, quite literally, because what's happening in Italy now is a result of them not heeding the messages some weeks ago. And so that is where we are heading if drastic measures aren't taken. I mean, then you've got the situation with the 2 cruise boats coming into Sydney Harbour there, the Ruby Princess and the Ovation, letting literally dozens of people into the community who are infected without proper testing. And I've got to say, even the New South Wales Premier today, you know, she said, look, police will be on standby to enforce the new closure of services. Compare that to Daniel Andrews in Victoria, who's set up a 500 police officer task force to enforce the new restrictions. Like, we've just got to step up, Australia. The best way to fix the economy and everything that follows is to stop the infection rate and get on top of the disease.
and temperature checks. There's just not enough temperature checks for me. I've got to leave it there. Thank you, Nick Rees. Thank you, Rita Panahi.